Welcome to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga. I'm your host, Wendy Hassenpflug, with my co-host,
Shannon Levy-heath.
And this show is about learning how to truly live your life fully and completely. My passion really lies with teaching other people how to make mind, body, spirit connections that lead to healthier patterns and really enhance their lives in a positive way. Our program today is so fitting for the beginning of the year, or really any time truly, but our program today is about vision. What does it mean to have vision, to have a vision, to create a vision, and how do you remain focused on your vision? So we're just going to really dive into vision work today, which I'm very excited to do. Are you excited?
As am I.
I've been doing my vision work already, as have you. So we're going to share some of that. Right. So let's start with our signature. Stop what you're doing. If you're driving, please keep driving. But if you're not driving, just give yourself this minute to just stop what you're doing. Place your feet on the ground, your hands in your lap, and sit nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, close your eyes. On your next inhalation, you're increasing your energy. And as you exhale, you're releasing any energy that is stale and that you don't need and no longer serves you. On your next inhale, think of the words I choose. And as you exhale, fill in the blank with whatever you would like to fill in the blank with. And do that one more time. Inhale, I choose. Exhale, fill in the blank. Nice. Blink open the eyes. Welcome to our first show of 2015. Yay. I know we're already, 13 days into this year, but this is our first show of the year. So it's like Happy New Year again.
Happy
Yay.
New Year. I love it.
So vision. We're going to talk about vision today. Let's actually start, because I kind of gotten into this. My belief coach, Lenny Evans, has kind of brought out this in me that I like to define the meanings of words because it's kind of cool. Yeah, the roots of the words and definitions of words. And realizing that the English language really does have a lot of different meanings to the same word, which makes it one of the most difficult languages to learn, of course.
Does.
Thankfully, that was my first language.
Speaking as the mother of 3 adopted Russian children,
right.
I now understand how difficult English is.
Challenging language. So the word vision, and I got this from the online etymology dictionary, the word vision is defined as something seen in the imagination. Mm. I mean, just that in itself. You can take that all different ways, but I'm just like empowered by that. I'm just like, because my imagination, wow. If you could do a movie off of that, it's kind of like, what was that Robin Williams movie with going into dreams, what dreams may come?
What dreams may come,
yeah.
Yes.
Take that with Jumanji, and that would be my imagination. Okay, so let's get back. So the root of vision is actually W-E-I-D, which if you pronounce it in the German language, which I think that's where that root comes from, vid, that means to know or to see. And in Sanskrit, which is, of course, the ancient Hindu language that we use in yoga, that word is Veda, V-E-D-A, Veda, and that means I know. So I think all of that is just amazing when I think about the word vision. So putting it all together, something seen in the imagination, to know or to see, and I know. And that's your vision. So I did find a few quotes that really spoke out to me, and we're going to kind of touch on what these quotes kind of mean to us. The first quote that I found that really means a lot to me is a quote by Jonathan Swift. And that quote states, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." And, I'm not only a yoga teacher and a yoga studio owner, but I'm also a dancer, a choreographer, and a dance teacher, as is Shannon. And so we share this common bond. And there's so many times that, things will speak out to us. And I know that when we see that dictionary or that quote, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others," we use that a lot in choreography.
Absolutely.
You want to tap
Imagery.
in exactly, and look at things in a different way. Mindset is what separates the rest from the best, truly. And here's the thing. Professional athletes know this. Coaches know this. Successful people know this, that your mindset, the way that you think, is what separates you from everybody else. And you meaning the best. Okay, so I'm putting everybody listening to this in the best class right now, right? When you focus, and I don't just mean a little bit of focus here and there, because it's hard to do this nowadays. But when you focus with a laser focus on your vision, it activates your emotions. And when that happens, this can actually cause fear. But here's the thing with fear. Fear can do a few things for us. It can make us not act our best because we're in a fear state and we're worrying and we're anxious. Fear can also make us come up with different reasons as to why we can't or shouldn't do something that we thought we wanted to do or we could do. Or, and what's best with fear, is it can propel you to action. That's when we use fear to its best potential. It can almost
exhilarate you.
Right, right. And here's the thing. When you use it that way, that's exactly what happens because, and I just learned this weekend, but I knew it already, but then somebody taught it and I'm like, oh, that's so spot on. Yes, I agree. So I'm going to say that I learned it this weekend, even though I probably knew it before. But when you do something scary or something that scares you, let's not say scary because
outside
scary means you're trying to,
zone,
right,
perhaps,
exactly.
yeah.
When you do something outside your comfort zone that scares you, even just a little bit, think about what it does to you. So if I were to like, oh, and I just hit Shannon, you can't see, right? So she reacted, but here's what happens. When you react, you are in the moment. You are as present as you can possibly be.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important about stepping outside that comfort zone and using fear to propel you into action. Not necessarily to be scared and freak out all the time, but to realize that it does propel you to action. How can you harness that? And when your beliefs, your emotions, your actions, and your vision are all aligned, then your brain plays like a symphony. It's in harmony, it's in coherence, and this place is what gets you to your goals. So this actually brings you into flow. We talk about flow state and kinesiology. We talk about being in the flow in your yoga practice and doing a flow, right? Yes. This increases, when you're in flow, it increases your confidence. It increases your certainty in whatever you're doing. And it certainly increases the behavior of what you're doing, whether it's good or bad. So you're going to see results in this place. So, Shannon, I'm going to ask you, as a dancer and a choreographer, can you think of a time in your life that your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions were working in harmony? And did this affect your ability to create artistically?
Well, I can think of a couple of times, but one that stands out to me, I can't believe it's going on 10 years. But in 2005, I was fortunate to go to Brisbane, Australia, to study Indigenous world theater with Aboriginal artists. And I was so profoundly affected on an emotional, a visceral, every single level of my being by their generosity, by their ability to share, their sense of ancestry, that it did propel me when I returned to the United States to take some certain actions in my life. I had been teaching yoga from 2000 to 2005 with no certification. And when I came back, I said, I need more knowledge about this if I'm to do this from the best possible place I can. So it propelled me toward that, and also artistically, it opened me up to that sort of vision in terms of creating choreography.
Nice.
I'm gesturing a lot with my hands. You can't see that either. I'm all excited now.
Nice. Well, that's the end of our first segment. So when we come back, we're going to share some more tips on how to successfully create your vision. Thank you so much for sharing that, Shannon. For more information about my studio, Vayu Yoga, visit us at Vayu Yoga, VAYUyoga.com. You're listening to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Wake up to
Welcome back. You're listening to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga with Wendy Hassenpflug and Shannon Levy-heath on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. You're talking about vision for the year and for your life.
Yes, one of our favorite topics. So here's another one of my favorite quotes. This is from Steve Jobs. So if you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. One of my favorite quotes. I use that so often last semester with university students, and I use it. I've used it before on the show. It's so true.
Used it in yoga class, I think.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yesterday,
You're right.
Maybe.
You're right. I love the quote.
It's fabulous.
But it's so true. You know, if if you're feeling pushed, if you're having to push yourself to do things, maybe you need to step back and think about, is this really something I need to be working on in my life? Is this working towards my vision? Is this serving me anymore? Because it might be that you're just comfortable doing that and it's just a routine and you think you have to do that. But what if you could replace that with something that actually pulls you? I mean, wow, So
and what better time than the new year to release those things that no longer serve you?
Oh, yeah, totally. And, those things come disguised. They're obstacles, right?
Yes.
Things that happen in our life. Obstacles are really disguised as opportunity. And many of us allow obstacles to become excuses that veer us off of our paths. Here's an interesting stat. 90% of doubts are nothing but thoughts from the past that are projected into the present. And think about that. When I heard that stat, I'm like, oh, that can't be right. Let me think about that. It's as soon as you start thinking about it, it's absolutely true. When you have doubt, it's because of things that have happened in your past and the stories that you have in your head, right? That you've put in your head saying, oh no, I've done this before. This isn't going to work, or, whatever
Or
that might be.
someone has told you.
Correct. Or I've read that, or I've seen that, whatever that might be. And you're bringing it into your present. But we're changing every day. Our cells change. Our thoughts change. Right. We're different people today. So you have to try things again.
Which is really exciting if you think about it.
You look different today, Shannon.
I do.
Because you are. Let's do some vision work. So these steps were created by John Assaraf. And I actually just did a wonderful brain-a-thon this last weekend with John Assaraf, and it was a webinar that I did. And here's what I took away from it. So if you've got something to write with, I really suggest you write this down. Or if you're driving, just, get our podcast later and come back to this part of the show, because this is amazing stuff right here. So step one in creating your vision, all right? Start with the vision of where you want your life to be. And when you start thinking about how you want your life to be, where you want your life to be, some of us are already in that. But I would think most of us are still thinking it's in the very future. It's like when I retire, or it's someday, right? We have that vague someday, this is what my life will be like, or I wish, or what if, right? Okay, so get rid of all of the what if and the wish.
Foggy,
Right.
Thinking.
Let's just scratch that for right now and really zone in on what you want your life to be. Okay? When you start to program your brain, meaning your subconscious mind, when you start to program your brain in the right way, and when you're programming it, you're actually retraining it. Research has shown that you can retrain and rewire your brain. When you do that, you're tapping into the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is like a GPS. It needs exact, detailed directions. And when you give your mind the directions of what you want, even if you don't know how you're going to do it, even if you don't know when you're going to do it, you just are putting it in there. Like when I am driving in a new place whatsoever, right? I put the address in. I have no clue where I'm going. I don't even pay attention. I just put it into my GPS, and I let my newbie that I let her tell me where I'm going. All right, I'm going to turn here. Right on. Cool. Here we go. Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Right. But you have to ask yourself at this point in this step, the step number one in creating your vision, what would happen when my beliefs and my habits collide with my vision? Because this is just like what I talked about before the break. When your beliefs, what you're thinking, what you value, and your habits are in line, and then your vision collide with those two things because you're working towards this vision. They all start to work on the same path. I mean, wow, how powerful can that be?
Wow.
So this is step one, and the more detailed you can be in that, the better, right? So part of my vision for this year, and I can't remember all of it yet because I'm still in the process of writing it out and tweaking it. It's taking some time right now that I'm working on. But part of my vision is to stay focused on my personal goals and to hold myself accountable to be the best person that I can be on a daily basis. So that's specific. Daily, I am doing this. Now, how am I holding myself accountable? I haven't gotten specific enough on that, except all I'm doing right now is I'm writing it out each day, either on a blog or on my Facebook page or in my journal, whatever it might be, or telling people about it like I'm doing right now, right? But you need to be very specific in that. So that's step one of your vision, is really creating details of what you want your life to be. And, it doesn't matter when. Take the time frame out of it. Let it be in the present state that you're visualizing what you want your life to be now. Here's your second step in the process. You have to have a big why. WHY. If you don't have a big reason why you want this vision and why you want this life, then you're not going to make the necessary changes to do it. You're just going to keep putting it on that wish and that, oh, this would be great and someday, right? You have to have a big reason why. The third step is now you have to have the ability and motivation to set goals, okay? But you don't have to have that at this point. You're going to have it because you've taken the first two steps. It just comes naturally for you. Instead of, notice that wasn't step one. I didn't say set goals on step one. We did the preliminary work first, okay? And you're going to set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, whatever goals are going to come naturally to you. It's just like in Steve Jobs' quote, it's going to pull you towards your vision at this point. And finally, you have to have the ability to focus in order to achieve success. That laser focus on what you're doing in the moment, not letting obstacles get in the way. The obstacles are just hidden opportunities. They're there for a reason.
If you can look at your challenges as opportunity and what you perceive to be failure as feedback, you'll be a lot happier.
Yeah. So I'm going to finish that thought with a quote that says, hold the vision and trust the process. And you brought that up in what we were just talking about.
Yes.
You put it out there and you just trust the process. You hold the vision true to yourself. You say it, you think it, you write it, you're clear on it. You might rewrite it if you need to, but you keep that focus and that laser focus on that vision and trust the process. And I think that might be the hardest part. I mean, for some people thinking about being clear.
To stay with it. It's easier to slip back into those old habits and patterns.
Yeah. Do you see in your yoga practice anything that you do in your yoga practice, Shannon, that can help you with any of these skills that we're talking about?
Well, I think primarily the essence of yoga is the mindfulness and being aware of what is going on in my body, my mind, my spirit. Am I drifting away? Am I truly staying in the present? Those things are all very, very important. And by bringing myself into the present and really listening and taking the adjustments that you're giving or any teacher will give, that there's a greater awareness of oneself on all levels that comes from that.
Wow, so yoga's not just about flexibility and being able to put my foot behind my head?
Absolutely not.
Oh, good thing, because I can't do that, and I own a yoga studio.
Thank goodness it's not just about that.
Yes, no, that's true.
It's a very holistic approach to life, and it goes from the mat into your everyday life. And if you give yourself the opportunity to experience that, and to experience it on a regular basis, it is transformative.
Absolutely, I agree. And it's interesting because you're talking about environment, our inner environment and our outer environment, and being able to drop in. I call it tuning out to tune in, right? Tuning out our daily thoughts, our jobs, our roles that we play that day, tuning out the stuff that we need to be doing for the rest of the day, and tuning into ourselves for that 1 hour or that 15 minutes or however long your yoga practice is, but just tuning out to tune in.
And truly just stopping for a few breaths and letting everything else go during your day is a very powerful way to recalibrate yourself and to move forward with a different sense of yourself and what is going on around you.
That in itself can be somebody's yoga practice. If you don't have time during your day, that's your yoga practice. Just giving yourself just a deep breath. Let's do another one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, that might be some of your yoga practice for the day, you guys.
I learned a terrific breathing pattern from my cardiologist. You inhale 3 counts, hold 3 counts, exhale 6 counts, and if you want to say breathe in love, hold it in, breathe out care and concern. Do that 3 times. You will physiologically recalibrate your nervous system. 3 breaths. That's it.
Yeah. We
Laser
so
focus.
underestimate the power of breath. Truly, it's the hidden element to yoga, you guys. Just so you know, that's the hidden secret. And if you concentrate only on the inner environment, but you don't change your external environment, then you're going to send mixed signals to yourself, to your subconscious mind, to the people around you, to your vision, to your life, to your relationships, to your job. This is like being in a place that you have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. And it's going to burn your engine out. I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's going to burn your engine out, quite literally.
It'll burn you
so
out.
look at your right. Look at your environment and make a list of what inspires you in that space, and then what expires you and drains your energy in that space. For me, it's my office. And if my husband's listening, which I told him to this morning, hi, honey, then it's the office. And I am going to make that an inspiration for both of us and not an expiration.
See, my husband and I are the flip of that.
There's always somebody. There's always, right.
He has the piles.
When we come back, we're going to share more tips on how to successfully develop a strong vision. For more information about my studio, Vayu Yoga, visit us at the corner of 8th and Main in Old Town Newhall or online at Vayu Yoga, VAYU Yoga.com. I'm Wendy Hassenpflug. You're listening to Vibrant Living with Vayu Yoga on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.